Welcome to The Honest Media. I'm Tom Pappert, and today is November 10th, 2016. And this is our first episode after Donald Trump is now the President-elect of the United States of America. And in all the coverage that I did running up to the election, I realized something. I realized that teleprompters are for failed presidents and people who can't do it on their own. So this is a bold experiment. Those of you who've been with me since the beginning, you may remember our very first inaugural episode where I did not use a teleprompter, and it was painful for me. I think it maybe was more entertaining for you, the viewer, but we're going to try it again and see what happens. So, as you may be able to tell, Hillary Clinton deleted my voice in her last act of retribution. And really, it was a fascinating campaign. I do absolutely blame this on the fact that Hillary Clinton's refusal to concede the election when everybody knew it was over, and keeping us all up till 3, 4, 5 in the morning, some of us. Just why? You know, there was a point on Election Day, last Tuesday now, when everybody online knew Trump won. People like the New York Times, the despicable New York Times, called Florida 3 or 4 hours before the mainstream news, our competitors, called Florida. Because online you can do this. You don't need the media anymore. You don't need me. You don't need anybody. There were people on image boards, on Reddit, on Facebook, who would simply look and say, okay, we've got these 3 counties left who have to be called. Well, let's look at what happened in 2012. Let's look at what happened in 2008. Oh, they went overwhelmingly Republican. This is what happened 4 and 8 years ago. Now, if we look at some of these other counties that are all the way called, we can see Trump is way ahead. So why on earth is the media, these liars on CNN, ABC, NBC, MSNBC, even Fox News, they were all sitting there saying, well, you see, Hillary, she still has a path. She still has a path. Broward County, we've got to find 3 Hillary voters in Broward County, and then it will all be okay. Not only that, there was a point where Ohio had been called. Florida, everybody and their mother who was not on the mainstream media knew Florida was called. Everybody knew it was over and it was for Trump. And yet the media would still sit there and say, well, if she can flip Michigan, if she could come back from behind in Michigan, we'll all be okay. We'll all be okay. If New Hampshire, if she could just get a couple thousand votes in New Hampshire, it'll all be okay. You know, I was torn the entire time between whether or not they were in denial, which is one possibility. They merely they couldn't believe that Trump was actually going to be president. They couldn't believe that their polls were so wrong. Or they were just doing it for ratings because they think we're stupid. And they think that we're going to sit and stay up with them until 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning because they can't get their act together. It was insane. That's something that we need to talk about, the polls. The day of the election, the day before the election, I wrote an article that basically put forth 2 realities. Because before Tuesday, there were 2 realities in the United States. There was the one we live in, the one people who watch this program and others like it live in, where we looked at the rallies Trump had, and we said there's tens of thousands of people going to these rallies, sometimes 5 rallies a day, and they're all packed with people trying to get in outside. So we looked at these rallies, we looked at the poll numbers that the mainstream media would put out, and the poll numbers almost always had Trump behind, except for a few outliers like Rasmussen and the LA Times Daybreak poll. And this guy, this charismatic radio host named Bill Mitchell, has been on Twitter and on his show, Your Voice Radio, for months, piecing apart how crooked the polls were, saying they oversampled Democrats here, they oversampled college-educated women here, they oversampled this demographic here, in states where these demographics just do not exist in these numbers. So the media, essentially, by pushing these fake polls and calling Bill Mitchell crazy, a lunatic, the big joke on Twitter was calling him gay and saying he had an obsession with Trump. It was totally insane leftist tactics here. By doing this, they were gaslighting us. They were making us all look and feel crazy to ourselves. And they've been doing this, for some of us, for 18 months since Trump declared. It's totally unbelievable what they tried to do. And in the end, who had egg on their face? Who looked like the idiots? The media. The people who were trying to make us look and sound and feel insane. Because we would look at these massive crowds, we would look at all the energy, we would look online at everybody loving Trump and hating Hillary, and then the media would come back and say, no, it's not really happening. They don't understand. The polls are scientific. Scientific. And what did the media do as Trump won? I think this is telling too. Some of them admitted they made a mistake, that they never get out of their elite areas anymore. They never go talk to the real people of the world. They don't understand rural America. Some of them admitted this. The majority, however, they got their pollsters on. The people who are always behind the scenes. The people who never get to come out and see daylight, it seems like, based on their complexion. They're worse than me. They got them on camera just so they could blame them. They brought them out. They had them on camera. Why was your methodology so bad, Mr. Pollster? Why were you so bad at predicting this? We trusted you, Mr. Pollster. And all they had to do was go listen to this guy who they'd been making fun of, Bill Mitchell, or listen to other people like the Trump people. Listen to anybody who was looking at these polls and saying, even I did it once before I knew who Bill Mitchell was. I looked at these poll sample sizes and I said, well, what's the deal with this? This isn't accurate. You can't say there's more Democrats than there are Republicans and independents combined. Everybody knew what they were doing was crooked. But because they are the media, they have the platform, they have the control, all of us were forced to assume we were the crazy ones. And that's something I hope this election will end forever. This unquestioning, unwavering, sycophantic faith in the media. Because from day one, they lied. They cheated, they rigged, they obfuscated, they did any and everything they could do throughout this entire campaign to prevent Trump, to make it feel like Trump supporters were racist, sexist, misogynist, whatever meaningless leftist insult they had, they used against us. You know, the globalists didn't want this. The banksters didn't want this. The Bush family didn't want this. The Obama family didn't want this. The Clinton family didn't want this. But the people of the United States wanted it. And we got it. President-elect Trump 2016. We're going to go to a break, and I'll be right back with more analysis. Welcome back to The Honest Media. I'm Tom Pappert, and I want to share with you some of the fallout of this election. And before I do, remember there's an expression in this country called the tolerant left. The left, the Democrats, the liberals, they're supposed to be able to understand the opposite party's ideas, to be tolerant, again, of ideologies, of ethnicities, of any and everything that's different from them. That's what we're told the left is all about. Tolerance, understanding, solidarity. That's what we're told. Now, I want to just share with you a few headlines. America on edge. Move On organizes anti-Trump protests around the country. Twitter erupts with calls for Donald Trump to be assassinated. FAA implements no-fly zone over Trump Tower. Die, white, die. Anti-Trump rioters vandalize NOLA monuments. Shock video. Black mob viciously beats white Trump supporter. You know, I warned people about it, not on air. I probably should have. Luckily, those of you watching locally right here in Wichita, Kansas, we have a wonderful, wonderful city. When the Black Lives Matter was rioting in other cities, we had a barbecue between the Black Lives Matter people here in Kansas, in Wichita, Kansas, and the police department. It was a beautiful thing to see, and that is what we need across the country. But instead, what we're getting are rioters, literal rioters. And I want to start by explaining this connection to George Soros, a person we've detailed extensively on this program, and anybody who's been paying close attention should know by now, because MoveOn.org is a George Soros funded, owned organization. that is supposed to be inspiring and activating protesters to go off and do things. And these protesters are seen in New York, Chicago, LA, and everywhere in between. They're all paid by a Hungarian billionaire who made his money, and you're gonna think I'm making this up, but you can Google it on your phone right now, a Hungarian billionaire who made his money by collaborating with the Nazis during World War II. He's Jewish, by the way. A Jewish man collaborated with the Nazis and now sends protesters to Trump events. So this is a press release as reported by Breitbart from MoveOn.org yesterday, Wednesday afternoon. Americans to come together in hundreds, peaceful gatherings of solidarity, resistance, and resolve following election results. Hundreds of Americans, dozens of organizations, to gather peacefully outside the White House and in cities and towns nationwide to take a continued stand against misogyny, racism, Islamophobia, and xenophobia. So now apparently wanting to protect your own country's interests is just too much for these people, and they're going to continue calling us these names. And that's something that's important to point out. These names, these insults, no longer have meaning. And the left is very, very lucky Trump won, because they've exhausted everything they had. These insults mean nothing to me. Call me all of these things. Go right ahead. I'll not only explain why you are wrong, I'll laugh at you for calling me racist, xenophobic, Islamophobic, etc. But now imagine if Trump hadn't won, God forbid, and in 2020 we were doing this whole thing again. I guarantee you it would not be a Trump who would be the nominee. It would be somebody who legitimately would give liberals reasons to be afraid. It would be somebody who is legitimately far right, not somebody who is really a centrist, but has some really great ideas. And the thing is, they've exhausted it's the boy who cries wolf. They've exhausted their insults. They couldn't call this guy all these things because it would just slide right off them. So they use these terms. They call us the intolerant ones. They call us xenophobic, misogynist, all these different things. And again, I'm just going to read some of these other headlines. This is from the Daily Caller now. Twitter erupts with calls for Donald Trump to be assassinated, calling for a man's assassination. You know, in 2012, or 2008 for that matter, when Obama won, I don't remember white people on Twitter, or anybody on Twitter, saying, we gotta assassinate this guy, we gotta kill Obama. Because if they said that, that would be unthinkable. To kill a president, to kill the first black president, oh my God, it would be unthinkable. But when a Republican wins, when a controversial Republican wins, and Obama was very much controversial when he won the first time, when a controversial Republican wins, it suddenly becomes okay to make credible threats against the man's life. Let's just read a couple of these tweets as much as I can. There's profanity here that I wouldn't even use if we weren't broadcasting to television. My mom is talking about to assassinate Donald Trump. Watch out, guy. My white suburban mother is coming for you. Trump ain't president till Inauguration Day. LMAO, you guys still have time to assassinate both Trump and Pence. If Trump gets assassinated, then y'all are gonna have Michael Pence, and he is possibly even worse. So you need to assassinate both of them. So which one of you greasy-headed, depressed white gonna take one for the team and assassinate Trump? Please. I just pray the first N-word who tries to assassinate Donald Trump don't miss. If Trump wins, he will be killed. Believe that. Someone will assassinate him. More chapters for the history books, I guess. If someone wants to take one for the team and assassinate Trump, make sure to get Pence's ass as well. This is insane. This is what's considered okay in modern society. And what is the media reporting? The media is still focusing on the people who like Trump. They're still calling us racist. When I watched the news last night for about 5 minutes, because that's all I could handle, they had a very nice opening bit about how the Trump upset totally redefined politics. We're going to have a new Republican Party that's like nothing we've seen before. And then when they had Chuck Todd, or Cuck Todd as he should be called on, right after that he said, well, you know, the real reason why Trump won is because of all these rural Americans who feel like they were left behind. No, we don't feel left behind. We feel like you stole our country and sold it to the special interests and we're taking it back. Now, things are so tense outside Trump Tower in New York that on Election Day, the man paid for a series of dump trucks to line his property and be filled with sand because he knew the protesters were going to try anything they could to attack Trump and his tower. And now, since then, the trucks went away after the election was called. But the protesters came out. They've been protesting outside Trump Tower, shouting unthinkable obscenities. There's a photograph of a mother with her small child, I would guess somewhere between age 6 and 8. The child is pulling the mother away, and the mother is yelling in a cop's face right outside Trump Tower. Unthinkable, unconscionable. Can you imagine the messages being sent to that small child? Again, like I've been saying this entire segment, this is the face of the tolerant left. 2 more stories I want to get to, then we've got to go to break. New Orleans, Louisiana. What started as a protest against President-elect Donald Trump soon turned to violent riots, where one of New Orleans' most famous monuments was covered in graffiti and glass windows were shattered at a nearby bank. And the graffiti reads, "Die White Die," with a bunch of Spanish underneath it. Shock video from InfoWars. Black mom viciously beats white Trump supporter. You voted Trump, you gonna pay for this. This is the face of our opposition. So when people tell you to be gracious in victory, when people tell you don't rub this in, be kind, be generous, we need to unite America. No, Trump needs to unite America. Republicans need to remember our enemy is out there. Michael Moore says it's time to go to war with the Republican Party. And I've got news, Mike. We're already there. We'll be right back after the break. This is The Honest Media. Welcome back to The Honest Media. I'm Tom Pappert. For the next 8 or so minutes, I want to talk about some of the surprising benefits that are already coming out of President-elect Trump's administration. Next segment, I'll be joined by Craig Chrysler for more analysis. And yes, my voice was still deleted for the rest of this program, even though we recorded on a different day. But these are some interesting, exciting things that came out of this election that, again, the mainstream media, the Anna media, the dinosaur media, they got it all wrong. They didn't understand this election. Perhaps they did understand this election, and they chose to lie about it. That's what I think. This is from Yahoo News. Trump fared well with women voters, despite assault claims. Yeah, you don't say. That's because women are not stupid. Women don't care about Rosie O'Donnell or Alicia Machado. They don't care about these things. They care about making America great again. And the idea that you can persuade women merely by saying Trump said something about a woman one time, that's an insult to women everywhere. Their intelligence, their esteem, their value, self-value of as people, it's all tied up on, oh my God, Trump said something mean about some woman somewhere. Ladies, thank you so much for proving me right. I've been saying for months, women are smart, women deserve the vote, women are intelligent human beings who are not going to get wrapped up in gender identity politics. You proved me right. Thank you so much. You proved the media is wrong. You proved women are intelligent human beings who do not fall into collectivistic groupthink. And the same can be said for Hispanics. Romney, who did everything he could at the end of 2012 to bring up his Hispanic cred, even going so far as to get a fake tan at the end. You know, Trump's fake tan is not new. You can at least say that about Trump. Trump only did 3% worse with Hispanics than Romney, who himself had Hispanic heritage. That's wonderful and amazing. It shows that in spite of so much propaganda, leaving out words in Trump's speeches, leaving out words in Trump's quotes to make it sound as though he had a legitimate bone to pick with all Hispanics and all Mexicans. It didn't work. Now, personally, I was hoping for George Bush numbers with Hispanics, but I guess that's just not possible. But I do believe that had the media not done their job of lying about what Trump said about Hispanics and Mexicans and rapists and some maybe good people, if all these lies had not taken place, I think Trump would have done Bush levels with Hispanics. And maybe in 2020, he will. That's exciting. Now, Everybody loved, and this happened with Brexit too, the stock markets. How when Trump was elected, just like when Britain voted to leave the EU, they took an immediate dip, and then they soared. Personally, I would have been fine if the dip was there. I would have been fine if the dip stayed, because there's too many people in the stock market. Nobody wants to be in the stock market anymore, but because of the Fed, the Federal Reserve, you can't just put your money in savings. There is no such thing as a savings account anymore. The interest rates are so pathetically low, you might as well put it under your mattress and hope you don't have a house fire. So I would have been okay with the stock markets crashing for a little bit, because I'm smart enough to realize that the average American, we don't have the money to even be in the stock market. It's these rich jerks, these rich elitist, insane people who wanted Hillary Clinton to win that are in the stock market. So stocks are going to be fine. Looks like the peso is going down a little bit. Oops, but we're all going to be fine. World leaders are all coming around to confirm they will be happy to work with Trump. Fascinating thing to have happen. And I'm not just talking about the right-wing world leaders. Putin said perhaps we can have renewed relations with the United States. So thanks, Trump, for avoiding World War III. Really appreciate it, big guy. Duterte in the Philippines said, I think I'm going to get along with Trump. Trump's like me. He curses a lot. Everywhere in the world, Hungary's prime minister likes Trump. Everybody in the world who we really should be cozying up with, the people who understand the threat of radical Islamic terrorism, the people who understand the threat of communism and unchecked leftism, they're all rallying behind Trump. Marine Le Pen in France, their world is crumbling. Ours is being built. But not only the people you want to be on your side, not only the people on the right. Justin Trudeau got permission from his wife's boyfriend to say that he is willing to renegotiate NAFTA with Trump. One of Trump's key issues is renegotiating these trade deals. And here you've got the Canadian Prime Minister, who was elected because he's pretty and he promised people weed, saying he's going to work with Trump. Remember when everybody said the world would never work with Trump? Remember when people were afraid Trump would launch a tweet that would send us into World War III? So far, you've got virtually every world leader saying they will respect Trump, with the exception of Iran, which says Trump better not back up on the Iran deal. They're a little worried. I wonder why. Now, this is something I'm just so happy about. Two behind-the-scenes villains of the campaign were absolutely Mark Cuban, a Mexican billionaire who decided to buy a controlling interest of the New York Times so he could use it to trash Trump, and Jeff Bezos, the now controlling interest owner of the Washington Post. Jeff Bezos also owns Amazon. Canceled my Amazon Prime account, by the way. Thanks, Jeff. They're both not doing too well. Trump lost them a lot of money. Turns out, by coming out publicly against the next president of the United States and turning once respectable publications into your blog so you could trash Donald Trump with a platform, didn't do well. Now, Trump has said that Amazon, and this is why Bezos is afraid of Trump. Amazon, which is true, they get their products from China, they dump them here, not good for the economy. Trump has said that Amazon, which dominates e-commerce, has a huge antitrust problem, given that the company is controlling so much of what they're doing. So, perhaps we can see an end to Amazon taking advantage of the United States by dumping cheap Chinese goods in our pockets. Now, another thing that I find, just so sweet, just so perfect. Carlos Slim, the Mexican billionaire, down $5.8 billion with a B. Remember when Hillary Clinton made fun of Trump as a billionaire, saying, "You lost $1 billion in 1 year. What businessman loses $1 billion in 1 year?" Well, Hillary, your buddy your buddy Slim, the New York Times owner, he lost a whole lot more. Mark Zuckerberg is another one who lost billions in 1 day after Facebook continued to plummet, devaluing his shares. He is now being blamed by leftists. He's being blamed by the left for letting Trump win because of his Facebook algorithm that shows you the news you want to see. This is a man who leads a company that bans conservatives based on their beliefs because they post a meme that's too salty, or uses their algorithms and their news division to hide conservative ideas. If anything, we won in spite of Facebook censoring us, and the liberals are blaming Zuckerberg. So there you go, Mark. You've been liking every single thing Hillary Clinton posts on her Facebook for 18 months now, and the liberals still aren't going to play nice with you. Maybe you should have made better friends, buddy. And finally, back to the global stage. From the Gateway pundits, Saudi prince who called Trump a disgrace kisses Trump's butt today. And some of you may remember this guy. Trump referred to him on Twitter as Dopey Prince of Saudi Arabia. Months and months and months ago, still during the Republican primaries, he said that Trump is a disgrace and should end his campaign immediately. Trump tweeted back, "Dopey Prince wants to control United States politician with his daddy's money. Not gonna happen when I'm president." Well, here it is. Trump's president, and the Dopey Prince, afraid of what was gonna happen, is now kissing Trump's ass as big as he can. I'll be right back after the break. I'm Tom Pappert for The Honest Media. When I come back, we've got Craig Chrysler here to offer more analysis of what the last 18 months have been like, both emotionally and physically. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back to The Honest Media. I didn't know it would happen. I felt like it would happen. I believed it would happen. But I didn't know.
I didn't think they'd let him have it.
Well, that too. I mean, I spent all yesterday, all election day, sitting on Twitter and having people send me reports of voter fraud in Pennsylvania. I didn't think it was going to happen.
Yeah. Well, that took place all over the country, apparently. It shows that she actually got the popular vote, which, how many of them people are dead? I'd like to see.
These 110-year-old people. You know, Hillary Clinton did poll the best with World War I veterans.
Yeah.
But I thought it was fascinating. I think that something happened. This is just my tinfoil theory. I think something happened when she called Trump. Because I know he's got to unify the country, and I know he's got to bring us all together now. But he just looked so smug.
Huh. He did. Looked worn out, too. I couldn't imagine having to do all that.
2 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, Hillary Clinton just had to get one more dig in, right? She had to keep us all up till 2 and 3 and 4 in the morning in suspense, not knowing what's going to happen because the media is sitting here parroting nonsense. You know, that is something that I'm never going to quit talking about, is how the media gaslighted like 40 to 60% of the country. They had everybody convinced they were crazy.
Yep.
Everybody was just convinced, well, there's 2 universes. There's the ones this guy Bill Mitchell on Twitter lives in, and then there's the one the rest of the world lives in, like the media, which is the truth. And it turns out the reality we're in is reality. The media was lying to us.
Well, yeah. They've been lying the whole time, and now everybody knows it.
But I'd say it was so... It's like being in an abusive relationship and the other person is making you think that you're like screwing up and leaving things around, and they come and they smack you when they find their stuff that they left and blamed on you. It's insane what the media did. They have no credibility left. See, even last night, they were, I was mostly watching Dennis Michael Lynch on Right Side Broadcasting, but whenever I had to go back every once in a while just to see what they were saying. They just don't get it at all.
Yeah, they don't. I was watching CNN and all of them, you know, and a couple of them started to make sense of why he won towards the end. But it was funny to watch how disappointed they all were.
You know, there was a point where poor Savannah got 3. She had to go. I think they just told her, go home, get out of here. She had, you know, she was contacts, and she was gone for a commercial break, and then she came back. She's wearing glasses. I think she was crying. I think they drank their own Kool-Aid.
Oh,
I think they really believed Hillary Clinton was winning. When all it took, I mean, it wasn't hard to do, to break down how crappy the polls were. It wasn't hard to do.
Yeah.
All you had to do was just look at sample sizes and say, now wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. It says Hillary Clinton is winning, but they polled more Democrats in this state than Obama won in this state. They're assuming she's going to do better with blacks, with Hispanics, with women than Obama did. And the excitement just was not there.
No.
Not for Hillary.
No. There was no excitement for Hillary.
Which is exactly. Then Trump, he's got these rallies. One of the last rallies he did, I think it was the second to the last, as last time I looked, 6.8 million views on Facebook.
Yeah.
And this is something that really, really gets me mad. Nobody's talking about this. We are the only ones talking about this, and a handful of people on the internet, in the new media, in the alternative media. Nobody is talking about what Trump accomplished here. Everybody's still saying, Hitler's in office.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm reading Facebook feeds and all these idiots.
Salt mining.
Comparing him to Hitler. And
I love the salt mining. It's great. Just these liberal tears, beautiful liberal tears. We're going to have enough salt water, we can make a new ocean.
Yeah. The stupidity of people is just amazing.
I had a guy who was telling me Trump wanted to raise the minimum wage to $15, right? and I was just like, no, that was your idol, your messiah, Bernard the First.
Yeah, Bernie sellout Sanders.
Bernie sellout Sanders. Yeah. And I even sent him a link. And after I sent him that link for Bernie's living wage page on his website, which is still up, he just blocked me.
Yeah.
And you know how that started? This salt mining. You guys got to do this. Don't be gracious in winning. Don't be generous. If Hillary won, these people would be rubbing our noses in it so hard. So this is how that started. Everybody on my personal page, which I don't spend a lot of time on because I'm doing other social media things. I was actually trying to campaign for Trump, not argue with idiots on my personal page.
Yeah.
But I would share an article that I wrote for thehonestmedia.com, and they would write just nasty, nasty things. And they wouldn't even read the article. I mean, pro tip, if you are an author, if you write something, whatever and other people pretend they read it, you can tell really fast that they didn't read that thing. And so they would just write nasty, disgusting things. And so last night, we all knew Trump was going to win hours before the media admitted it. At 8:30 last night, I called it. I said, there's no way she's coming back from this. Trump just won. 8:30 last night. Now, the media, it's tight, 2 a.m. So about 8:30 last night, 8:30 on Election Day, I just started going on people's Facebook pages and leaving a little heart on their profile. Just a heart, just to show that I still care about them as human beings and nothing personal. And most people didn't respond. Most people didn't even like it. I think they're mad at me. But one person that's how that started. Just mouth vomiting onto the post.
Well, it just shows you these liberals are just vile, disgusting, degenerate people.
The ones who won't come around still. I mean,
a large percent of them are. They're shown to be more likely to steal and murder and lie.
And I think you're right. And do you remember when Obama came into office and we all had to pretend like everything was fine? We all had to pretend like all was happy and peaceful with the world.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. No. People were mad. People were furious. Obamacare was already killing jobs. Going digital was great for this personal TV station, but there's other TV stations out there that it was miserable on. Obama was a miserable presidency, is still a miserable presidency for everyone, but because it's a liberal and because it's their perfect liberal, we all have to pretend like everything's fine.
The vacationer in chief.
Right, the golfer.
Yeah.
He plays more golf than Tiger Woods.
Probably spent $500 million on vacations.
No, I don't. That seems low, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because they got to take Secret Service with them. They
and then all his campaigning for Hillary.
Oh yeah.
That was like $1 million every time he went out.
And the stuff he would do, it's just like he's bringing the Oval Office seal. What do you call that? The seal of the president. He brings it out on the campaign trail for her.
Yeah.
How can you get by with doing this? It's totally insane. So, I don't know. I don't even know how to leave this segment off, where to leave it. But I am just glad. There's been two realities in America. The one the media has been shoving down our throats, and the one that regular human beings with 2 eyes and half a brain are able to find. And I'm glad we live in that one. We'll be back after the break. Welcome back to the Honest Media. So, in the break, for those of us who stayed up and watched, which I wanted to strangle Megyn Kelly for saying, it's 2 in the morning, people don't care, it could go on till tomorrow. They really wanted this to be going on to Wednesday. Yeah. Because Podesta came out. We'll just take a moment to appreciate that when Hillary didn't want to go face the crowd, she sent Podesta.
Yeah, just a total sicko, implicated in all sorts of stuff.
And even if all that wasn't true, everybody knows his emails from like the last 12 years. The guy's password was password. Why do you send this guy out to be your spokesperson? Totally stupid.
Yeah, not to mention the night before, Hillary had Lady Gaga dressed in a Nazi
outfit. What is going on?
It shows you who they really are. They're the sickos.
They think we're stupid.
Yeah.
They think we're stupid is what it is. They think we believe this media nonsense the past several months. Because last
satanic brainwashing they've been doing for 8 years.
See, I think they're not smart enough for that. And it's not just 8 years, you know that. It's not just 8 years. But because they're dumb. They thought they had it. They're dumb people. They're stupid people in the media, stupid people in the establishment, and because I was on various websites. I was in Hillary Clinton, what she likes to call the dark corners of the internet. I was in various websites, and everybody is sitting there breaking down the map on Google. Google had a good map. Politico had a good map. New York Times, we got to give them credit. They were the most accurate predictors last night on Election Day. They were the most accurate. They were the first to call Florida for Trump. They called Florida for Trump 3 hours before the mainstream news called Florida for Trump. It's insane.
Yeah.
And so people are online, people are doing it themselves, people are comparing the voting trends from 2016 to 2012 and saying, well, realistically, we can only expect X amount more votes to come out of this, and there's no way Hillary's going to win because they went heavily for Romney last time around. People were doing the media's job faster, better, and for free. And so the media is just beyond stupid to think that we need them to interpret for us.
It was pathetic. Even Fox News was pathetic. And then going from Fox News to like MSNBC.
You couldn't tell the difference, right?
Well, you could. They had their electoral votes were like way behind what Fox News even had, which was way behind what Google had.
Exactly, which is way behind what people just on 4chan and Reddit looking at the map we're doing. I mean, they think we're stupid.
At like midnight, MSNBC, well, Hillary could still do this.
It's still close.
Yeah.
It's still close. They could still end up being tied. It could be a tie. No, I'm never going to be a tie. And I think I haven't looked too deep into the numbers yet, but I agree. I don't see how a popular vote for Hillary. I mean, the stuff we saw in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, was both horrifying and not surprising at all.
Yeah. Well, it was nationwide votes. Vote machines flipping votes.
Oh, the voting machines. There were voting machines and there's two possible explanations. There's voting machines, these Soros-connected voting machines, where people say Soros-owned, and then the media comes back like Snopes, false! It's not owned by George Soros. Like, okay, you're right. It's owned by one of George Soros's top cronies at the Open Society. What's the difference?
Yeah.
It's so stupid. But yeah, you've got these machines, and this is why I did a paper ballot. And because these machines, you would press Trump, it wouldn't work. You press Gary Johnson, it works. You press Hillary Clinton, it works. You press Jill Stein, it works. You press Donald Trump, it won't work. So there's 2 possible explanations for this, in my view. 1, George Soros. 2, there were so many people trying to vote Trump that they broke the button.
Well, we know that them voting machines are rigged. I mean, the guy testified in front of Congress or Senate.
But of course, right, that's not even how they say they rigged them.
Yeah.
They say it's because it's not what you put in. It changes the vote once it's tabulated inside the machine. Which means imagine the landslide we actually got.
Yeah.
I mean, holy good God.
I bet several million of them people that voted for Hillary are dead.
Well, we laugh, but it's true. I mean, Obama used to joke about this 8 years ago. Yeah, we got a lot of dead people voting in Chicago.
We need to see if Janet Reno voted.
Oh, jeez.
Over her dead body, huh?
You know, I would like to...
Thank God she died right in time.
I would like to say we should be nice to the poor woman in her memory, but
Yeah,
she did Waco, man.
The butcher of Waco.
Well, of course, that was also the Hillary Clinton had a lot to do with
Yeah.
it. I later found out.
So did
recently
Eric
found
Holder.
out. Right.
Yeah.
And now these are the superstars. You know, this is what Trump's
And they're
talking
all
about.
on their way out.
That's exactly right. This is what Trump was talking about when he said drain the swamp.
Yep.
Because we can't keep going with these failed people who they have no idea what they're doing. They're totally incapable.
Oh, they know what they're doing. I don't think they're...
But they may have an idea of what they want to do.
They're serving their
They may
own
know what they
purpose.
want to do, but
Yeah.
but it's not working. They're not even serving their own purpose. I was thinking about this last night. Can
Well,
you
look how
imagine?
rich the Clintons are now.
But
when they
what-
left the
but-
White House,
but
they were
what's
broke.
going to happen now? They're 70 years old. Bill looks like he's about to kick off at any second. I'm not the only one who thinks this.
Well, so does Hillary.
Oh, that's true, especially now.
Especially,
So they've got this money. They've been taking donations, promising everybody they're going to get back into office. It's her turn. She's going to get back in. She's going to do whatever people want. And she can't. She literally cannot. What do you think is going to happen to these people? They were that overconfident that they thought it was going to work. I think that, these people, who give them money, it's not a donation. They want something with that money.
Yeah.
And Hillary's not going to be able to return the favor. I would say that's dangerous for Hillary right now.
Well, either nothing will happen to her, or she might actually end up going to jail. We'll see how that plays out. Hopefully she does, because what she did was incredibly illegal. It doesn't matter if you don't know what you were doing, what you claim.
It's like if you get drunk and forget you can't drive and then you hit a person.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Nobody
don't
cares.
matter.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, they both look like hell, which apparently if you practice satanic occult rituals long enough, you start to actually look like the devil.
Look at the hands. Look at the hands. For people who don't know what we're talking about, we'll spend the last minute on this because it's the type of thing you think is fake and a psyops and a conspiracy theory and all that. But there's these things called spirit dinners where, God, I still can't wrap my brain around it. And I've been talking about it for days now, where John Podesta was invited to what these lunatics call a spirit dinner, and you do these bizarre occult rituals. Like this is the one that really kind of got memed on the internet. One of them is take a sharp knife, stab it deeply into your middle finger, eat the pain.
Yeah.
And you've got Lady Gaga went to these events.
Yeah.
This is sent to Podesta, and we believe he went to the events. I don't know if it's been proven, but he was invited. We've got, who else? Jay-Z went to these events. We've got all these people going to these creepy spirit parties, spirit cooking dinners.
Where they have blood, urine, and semen that they apparently drink.
And models of young children that they eat off of, cannibalistic rituals. It's horrifying. And these people say it's just performance art. Well, what kind of freak goes to that kind of exhibition of art? What kind of freak thinks that's art? That is not what we want ruling our country, even if it is art, even if all it is art. What normal human being says, that's how I want to spend a Friday night? I wouldn't do that for Halloween. Okay, we got to go to break, but we'll be right back, and maybe we got to talk more about spirit cooking, because I think it may have won the election.
Probably.
Welcome back to the Honest Media. You may have noticed that I'm Marco Rubio today. I keep drinking out of water as I'm on television, but I was yelling at the TV so loud last night, apparently I lost my voice, or Hillary Clinton deleted my voice. I haven't figured out which yet. And so this is as close as I'm getting to a normal voice, to do some audio wizardry to make him quieter. This has been just an unimaginable journey. Can you imagine what this would be like for Trump? Because he must have had internal polling showing how high ahead he was in all these various places, these deep blue states that he turned red. And even Trump, you got to sit there and wonder. Of course, he goes to the rallies. He went to the rallies. He would see the people, but you got to sit there and wonder, did the gaslighting work on him? Because that's what this was. It was making your enemy, making your other person feel like they're crazy.
Yeah.
That's what they did when they were telling us Trump's 20 points behind. That's all they were doing, was making regular Americans feel crazy.
Yeah. They were trying to make us feel crazy when WikiLeaks proved that the whole Hillary campaign staff were absolute lunatics.
Oh, and it proved every single conspiracy. You know, this is an article that I've been meaning to write, and I think it's finally going to get done now that this election is over. It's time to stop talking about conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
It's time to just retire the term, at least for like a 3-year period, because every single one is true.
Yep.
Alex Jones is like a prophet.
Yeah.
Every single thing the guy says is true. Next thing you know, the chemtrails thing will come out.
Now that's already came out.
But in a WikiLeaks, everything he said was true.
Yeah,
they're rigging the votes. It's true. What else? They're colluding with the media. It's true.
Yeah.
Every single thing.
They're trafficking children.
It's probably
They're
possibly
practicing
true.
Satanism.
That part is definitely true.
Yes. I forget, somebody famous tweeted, we live in a world where Alex Jones is always right.
Now somebody else posted, I think it was, I can't even remember. Somebody posted, this is Alex Jones's world. We're all just living in it.
Yeah.
Because it's true. He was right about everything. Yep. And
all I got to say is thank God Hillary didn't win, because I really didn't want to get nuked by Russia. And Putin is happy that she did not win and already congratulated Trump.
Oh, did he?
Which I think is a great thing.
Well, I mean, I guess Putin likes world peace more than he likes supply of United States uranium.
Yeah.
She was the World War III candidate.
She was.
The American people shocked me with this, because I have a new theory, but I thought America was done. I thought, if you had asked me this time 4 years ago what I thought about the future of this country, I don't know, probably see the end of it in my lifetime.
Yep.
But here's why. Because the smart people weren't voting. Because there was nobody to vote for. Because if you're, like, imagine if it was Jeb Bush versus Hillary Clinton. Hillary would have won. Jeb would have fallen on his sword. Nobody would have voted. Nobody would have voted. Yeah. I would not have voted for Jeb Bush. I would not have done it. I would not have done it. I'm not just a Republican. I'm not one of their sheep who's going to do whatever they're ordered. No, I got to have a good candidate to do it. And how many other Americans are like this? And I know
I've already
spent why Trump won.
Like 20 years of my life living under Clinton and Bush rule.
I know,
and that's insane.
It's
we couldn't have survived another 4 or 8.
No, well, there wouldn't have been a country. She said in the WikiLeaks she wants to get rid of the borders.
Yeah, that idiot Obama already shut off all of our coal power plants. We don't even have steel manufacturing plants. We've lost 70,000 manufacturing plants.
I know. Yeah. I mean, there would not have been anything left. I think she would have been happy about that. I mean, she went to...
Oh, she would have. That's what they want.
She was campaigning on killing coal. And then, well, not really. You know, she was doing her lying, which she calls Abraham Lincoln strategy. Yeah. Totally insane.
Well, we just put an end to the world government for now.
At least in
which
America.
Is what they were setting up. Yeah.
I mean...
Hopefully he's able to get rid and cut the head off all these government agencies that are crippling jobs in this country.
And this is the really hard part, because I never used to really believe in political action to enact change. It wasn't my thing. As a libertarian, I'm like, I tried it. It backfired enormously. Why would you keep wasting time with this? Trump is something different, because Trump got traction. Trump was saying the right things. Trump is an intelligent man. Now, the real test comes, is it going to get done?
Yeah, well, it looks like the entire country's gone red, from Senate to Congress to everything else. So if they don't cooperate with them, I mean...
Yeah, they're going to look really bad.
Yeah.
And I don't see Trump. He's been talking about the same issues since 1987.
Yeah.
I don't see him just backpedaling on anything.
No.
I don't
The
see it
art of the
happening.
deal. He'll make it happen.
And in the art of the deal, you may ask for more than you want and get a little bit less at the end.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean,
Like
I
having
think you're
Mexico
right.
pay for the wall.
Well, yeah, Mexico's. I mean, for all the people who have been watching who think Mexico is going to write a check, probably not.
Yeah.
He details on his website how Mexico is going to pay for the wall, and it's when these people send back the remittance payments, just take them. They're taking our welfare to send it back to Mexico more often than not.
Yeah.
It's not right. So just take the remittance payment, charge
would've
more for
lo-
these visas, do
I
all
would
this
have
stuff.
loved seeing the reactions of the illegal immigrants
Oh,
last
well, what was it, CNN or NBC? They
probably
kept
at home crying.
NBC kept going, and they knew. The media knew when we knew. This is how infuriating it is, because they knew when we knew, but they kept the lie going because
Yeah.
I think Hillary Clinton was probably waiting, and then eventually Hillary Clinton called and said, "Okay, I'm conceding," and then they could start telling the truth. Okay, yeah, Trump won, duh. But the NBC kept going to this group of Hispanic women. I'm going to be separated from my family.
Goodbye. You're here illegally.
Right? So if a bank robber has an elderly mother with cancer and a son who needs a liver transplant with this big sob story, and they go and they rob a bank, do you feel bad for the bank robber? No.
Yeah.
It's a bank robber. They're criminals.
He still goes to jail.
He still goes to jail. He still
Yeah.
has to
You
punish
don't
for
get
his
to
crime.
you don't get to stay and hang out and collect welfare checks.
Actions do have consequences.
Yes.
And that's what Trump is proving. These people, they say pride goeth before a fall. I think these people were just so full of themselves and into it, they never thought Trump could win. They never thought they would ever be out of their day in the sun. They thought it would go forever.
Well, the day of world government and socialism in this country is over.
Or at least 8 years. I don't think we can go back, because I think the people watching this program, the people watching programs like ours, I want to say some internet lingo, but I guess I can't. We are, I'll just say the Alex Jones lingo, we're awake.
Yeah.
And people, once you find out, what's going on, Obama giving away the internet, these creepy occult rituals that the upper echelons of society are all involved in.
Republican and Democrat.
It's just, I don't think people can come back from this. I don't think people are going to just wake up on next Monday, once we've had some time to digest it, and go back to watching football.
Well,
I don't think it's going to happen. That's my hypothesis. I don't know if it's going to happen or not.
This shows enough people have seen the truth and seen what's going on that they no longer want it.
Yes, and they're willing to act.
Don't want
even
these
if
weirdos running around naked in the woods
they're willing
with gay prostitutes in California.
they're willing to seek
Bohemian
out.
Grove people.
Look up the documentary, but look up. The people are willing to look for real news, alternative sources. People are willing to explore the truth. People are willing to do their own research if necessary. And
Imagine that.
the media failed. They failed.
they
They
did.
lost. They lost.
Well, they lied and they lied and they lied and they
Hubris.
got
They thought they could do it.
Didn't work.
They flew.
Don't work anymore.
They flew too close to the sun. Okay, we've got to go. This is the end of our episode this week, but we're going to keep going. It's been an amazing ride. We've got some real traction thanks to you, the viewer, and we'll be back next week. I'm Tom Pappert
I'm Craig Chrysler.
with The Honest Media. Find us on Facebook. Find our website, thehonestmedia.com, and we'll be back next week with a new episode.